Hello and welcome to Get Your Pets Out, the podcast where pet obsession meets comedy, where we talk to funny people all about the true loves of their lives, their pets. This week was a big week for us. Barry, my beloved tortoise, had arisen when recording this. Finally come out of brumination or the coma or exile from the shed and was allowed into the recording studio. And just for good measure, we threw in the cats as well, Joy and Fiora, just to see what would happen, to bring a little bit of chaos and fizzy energy into the pod, which I think is the best way of describing the comedy style of this week's guest, Harriet Dyer. She is fizzy, fun, an excellent storyteller, going from comedy gold to comedy gold, live at the Apollo recently, 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown, Sean Locke Award. She is killing it, and she's a good laugh as well. A little bit of a heads up. This episode does contain a fair bit of interestingly descriptive language. We'll just leave it there. And an incident with feces. So strap in and enjoy this week's Get Your Pets Out. It's Harriet Dyer. So we've got mammals, we've got reptiles, we've got tension between them.
If that proper looks foreskinny.
It does look, but it doesn't look like good, healthy foreskin, does it? It looks sort of like old man foreskin. There we go. Not that I've seen too many of them. Just on documentaries.
I always think if you stretched someone's foreskin to when they were sleeping and then stretched it right up and then fastened on the end of someone's nose, then when they got out of bed, would they just roll forever?
They probably would move very gently. Would you glue it or just...
Yeah, because it doesn't just naturally grip, does it?
Thank God.
Yeah, like it's
Like
a
a little
fox, isn't it? Where isn't it like you know, if you're a man and you're having a STD thing, they put like an umbrella.
They used to.
Oh, do they not?
They don't do it anymore.
That's like
a
fox's dick, isn't it?
Yeah, because it just expands and then like basically. So what we're saying is Barry is a little bit penis-like at the front, a little bit tail-like at the back, but I love her.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to body shame her.
Oh no, she doesn't know you or I exist. She literally doesn't care.
I think that, like, my friend is, like, her whole life revolves around this dog, and she's lovely, the dog is lovely. But then once, I was going round her house, and while she was at work, so I was going to meet her at her own house, and she was like, oh, did the dog, she said the name, she was like, oh, did the dog, did it miss me? And I was like, no, it thought I was you, because I'm a human.
It didn't even think about you.
Of course not.
I think dogs do miss people, but Barry literally, I've come to the place where Barry doesn't respond to my voice. Barry's just looking for heat sources at all times. And that's fine. That's how I like this relationship to go. Did you have any pets like Barry as a kid, or were you like normal pets?
Rabbits, fish, and well, we had this. The neighbour had this lovely dog called Emma, who had yeah, but this is very sad. But she got thrown out of a moving vehicle, so she was really like nervous. But she was so lovely, and me and my brother always used to go around there to play with her, and they were the best family ever, because they had this big cupboard filled with pirate videos. So we'd go round there and choose a pirate video, but it was always, I think someone was filming them in the cinema.
Yeah, where you can see the outline of someone's head.
Yeah, and it was all like fantastic. Ooh. But they were quite old, but they had so many good kids films, like The Mighty Ducks and all them.
That is a good kids film.
Great film.
Yeah.
And then, so we always used to want to go around there, hang out with Emma, but then we weren't allowed around there anymore because we fed her chipsticks and she was violently sick.
Emma's been through enough. She's not allowed to drive anymore, so she jumped out of that car. So you had Emma. I love when they give dogs proper human names.
100%. I knew this man once who had a cat called Ian. And,
well, that's where Barry's come from. I just feel like it's a bit more like, like you give them something that's a bit more like. It's equity, isn't it? You're like this. You're in this with me. I mean, Barry doesn't care. Barry just wants
Baz. Do you ever think about shortening it to Baz?
Yeah, I'll do that when I enter into some shows. Bazza.
What, like Crufts?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it right in there. It's the reptile division.
Is there a reptile division?
Not at Crufts. I don't know where she's got fluff stuck up her nose. So I'm gonna try and.
There's no save it because there's TikTok videos where people and they have loads of views. I watch them where people tweeze bogies out of tortoise's nose. Is
that
noise? Knees?
I've never had. I know the plural for nose. I assume it's no.
Tortoise's
so
nose.
if I pulled that out if I pulled this bit of fluff out of her nose,
well,
that could be it. That could be
I'd share it.
You'd share it.
Look, there's something therapeutic about it that not therapeutic that look, because they have like such tiny nose holes and they've big fat bogies.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I can see it's like the opposite of pimple popper.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the same.
Same.
So the cats are prowling and they have like an interest in Barry and we don't know whether it's like in order to kill or
make love.
I think it might be a sort of love across the species sort of issue going on here. Is there a TikTok genre?
I think it's fascination.
I mean, Joy's over there staring at Barry looking really quite drugged up. She's also covered in butter. I should warn you that. Sorry, I got distracted by Barry stabbing me in the side. Hold Barry for a second. Well, look at this.
Oh, not hook ways.
Hook ways. No. Have a little. There we are.
Barry, I cannot abide.
She's weighty like, isn't she?
Ladylike.
Weighty.
Oh, weighty. Ladylike.
Do you know what? I look a lot like Barry naked, so it's all the same. All the same.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's my hook-like tail at the back, protecting my bumhole. That's what it is. You had rabbits when you were growing up.
Yes.
Good pet.
Just I don't know. I think my parents didn't think me and my brother were responsible enough to look after, and quite rightly so. so just gave us a rabbit, and then we thought they were soft and lovely, like at first, and then they were just kept in the garden, but then when it was one of them just froze in the night, and then was like as stiff as a board.
God, that's awful.
Yeah.
Just like. And that was it, gone. What happened to the other one? The other one survived.
No, you don't want to talk about it. Do you remember? Yeah. I've been given strict instructions. And I've already talked about a dog being thrown out of a moving car and one frozen to death.
A little look into the world of pets in Cornwall. Surprisingly similar to the northeast.
Well, yeah, but you say that, but even in Cornwall, genuinely the humidity is a lot warmer. So the fact that the rabbit froze in Cornwall meant it didn't have a chance anywhere else.
It wouldn't have been in the northeast for a day.
Yeah, but are you supposed to keep them outside?
I'm enjoying you picking up Barry.
Well, I don't know the etiquette.
Like you're a claw machine from like choose us. You're just coming down.
I follow one of them on TikTok where it's like claw hacks on the
to get the best toys.
Yeah, and there's another one. You know, if you go to like the thing and you collect the tickets. Is that allowed?
Yes,
if you collect the tickets in the at the arcade, when you put it in the ticket thing, if you go like that, it reads it. But apparently
you get more.
Yeah.
All right, let's scrap this. Get in the car. We're going Western Supermare.
I
love Western Supermare.
I've only been there once, and I was gigging in a strip club.
A Western Supermare strip club.
It was so bleak.
And what was you were an opening act?
I was brand new, and I did. You know when you just there's like there's a gig, and then you just go with other acts, and then I was just like, oh no.
Well, at least it only goes up from there.
But in between every act, there was a stripper.
No.
Yeah. And one of the headline act is now works in telly. So I said to him once, he messaged me once, and I was like, "Do you remember that gig that we did in a strip club?"
So I've had excessive therapy to try and get past it.
Yeah.
Any good laughs? You don't
No. Oh my God. Because you know when you start and you're what you think is acceptable might be a bit off. So basically, because when I in my life, I genuinely everyone always thought I was Polish.
Yeah.
So
I can
then
see it.
I would open with that when I was gigging because people would always say, "Oh, are you Polish?" But then when I said that at this gig, the strippers were all Polish.
Of course they're all
Because there was a bunch of us that we would just get, there was a little group of us that lived in Birmingham. Oh, I've got hair on my...
Let me pull it out on camera and we can put it on TikTok and it'll be the same. I'll pull a hair out of your nostril and I'll pull a hair out of Barry's nostril and I'll make them guess which one's which.
You'd have massive bogies from me since I've moved to Bristol. I've got more bogies.
You have just moved to Bristol. You've come down here and it's because...
I brought my bogies.
It's because you've been living... You were living outside of a city before, but now you're in the... Oh, she's going... Is she going up my fanny?
Yeah.
She's returning to the mothership. Maybe she does know I'm her mother and she's trying to like... Oh my gosh, she's trying to get down on the floor.
What would you do if she did go up there?
At some point,
you'd have to
I would stop her. That's why it's always best to keep your trousers on around mischievous little reptiles. Do you like the name Barry for her, though? Do you think she's a Barry? Does she look like a Barry?
So is it a case of you thought she was a he and then...
Yeah, thought it was a he. She had to go to the vets because she got her head stuck in a fence. And
another time,
same time, and also I mix my very Bristol. I just mix my pronouns for Barry. He, she, they. Just it's all because I have because I've spent so long thinking Barry was a boy, but then it was revealed to me Barry's a girl by a medical professional. But I don't know what Barry's opinion is on this. What do
you mean?
Well, I raised Barry as a boy.
Right.
Barry is a girl. But Barry is also, probably most importantly, a tortoise, so doesn't really give a fuck.
I often wonder that, or she might give a fuck.
Do you know, I was quite pleased that when they told me it was a girl because, do you know a tortoise's penis is like kept up inside the shell? Your face is already braced for this. And it comes out, it's about double the length of the tortoise.
Shut up.
Yeah. And it's...
So you just be dragging it along the floor.
It goes out in front. It's got its own muscles in it, so it can like move independently. Well,
move
not independently.
Well,
we're not like detached from it, but it's like a weight on the table because obviously, like tortoises, quite shell-like creatures, aren't they? They can't. It's not going to be like taking each other in their arms.
Oh my lord!
And so that allows it to get up and under. And I didn't want to come in one day and just see something on the ground moving around, and it'd be like a.
Oh no.
Barry penis.
But then if a cat was coming a bit too close, he'd just
sucker punch. Sucker punch with a It's got him in a headlock with the penis. It's coming in with a claw.
That's like, have you seen those videos where the kids are, and I did it at school camp where there was a cow, a horse with a big dick, and then the kid's like, "What is that?" And then there's one where we go, "Is it his willy?" And then this kid goes, "Is it his willy, Caroline?" Have you seen it?
No,
because it's so big.
They are offensively big.
Oh.
Tortoises ones aren't that big, but compared to their size,
independent.
It's got its own like. But then I said this to the vet. I was like, well, thank goodness, I don't have to worry about the willy just popping out and rolling around the tortoise table or whatever. And she was like, oh, but the clitoris is also quite long.
What?
And the clitoris on a female tortoise can also. You saw Barry's little bumhole thing that does it all, right? Just pops out of there. Every now and then and sort of like floats around on the floor.
Floats around? What do you mean floats around?
I haven't seen it yet, but the vet was very adamant that it was... You're fully braced in disgust. I have talked to you about a lot of stuff and this is the only time you've ever shown...
Yeah, it's like the old fat clit.
Fat long clit. That's what they've got.
Fat long clit. Oh my.
So basically, if you want to look after Barry at any point, just make sure she's not all riled up and horny. I'm hearing some scratches behind there, but I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're making friends. I'll go and check. All right. Alice is she's a good pet mum, and I'm more of a latchkey sort of mother. But hello. Oh my God.
What's happened? The clit's not out, is it?
Barry's done a shit
What?
in front of Fiora.
Do you have to wipe her bottom?
No. It's got like a little... Anyway, close the light. This has gone wildly off. All right, I need a tissue to pick this up. I'm going to go get a tissue. Give me a second. Hold this. You do my bit.
Okay.
I can't get out. Harriet, this is... I would say this isn't how it usually goes, but it is. Was that why Barry was so keen to go down there? Well, at least we don't have to. So yeah, it turns out having a painter's roll tray isn't good enough for a litter box.
Oh.
So they were like, I'm not going in there, not doing it.
Oh, that's interesting. What do you usually have here?
Proper big box, washed it, put it outside to dry, came back, stolen.
What?
Somebody has stolen
Out the back?
Someone's stolen a litter box.
They must have thought it was because everyone leaves everything for people to take. Because I once had this community centre, and then and I put, because I had some plants, but they needed light, and there wasn't enough light in the thing, so I put them outside for light. Someone bloody robbed them.
That little postcard you put on the front saying "Help yourself." And,
yeah. I just can't figure out why someone took them.
Your comedy has got a lot of animal references in it. I love your comedy. I think it's because it's silly, but it's wild and funny, and no one expects where you're going with it. But it's also really nicely crafted together.
Crafted?
It is crafted, and you know it's crafted. It's beautifully done. But there's a lot of animal references in them. One of my favourite is your hedgehog tortoises. Your way of hedgehog swans.
Tortoises?
Hedgehog swans. I just say what I see. Really.
Hedgehog swans.
Yeah, a bit about hedgehogs.
Yeah, but not swans.
There's also a separate bit about swans.
Oh, but not together.
But then you meld them together. Bit about having a long neck.
I do, yeah.
See, I do listen.
Thank you.
I do. Like, I think, do you think all animals are funny, or is it just like...
Well, what I do is I think of most of my stuff is based on true real stuff, so then I'll write down what's happened, and then I'll be like I get bored of just like it to be, well, it's not funny, I don't think, unless there's some sort of animal involved. So then I'll be like, I'll think, what's the most ridiculous thing that could have happened?
Yeah.
And then I'll put that, and then quite often there is an animal involved. But yeah, I don't know why.
There's always, every set that I've seen of yours, there's some sort of animal. The last one, even when you were trying out new stuff, you were trying out some whale stuff in there. And you were like, seal, whale, which am I? Eel.
No, do you think that's do you think that's a thing where people are like, can't she say anything without animals?
No, I like how you've taken my compliment and turned it into quite the barb.
This is like us yesterday on stage. Jack was like you two, because we both come off stage and just thought, and we're both like really negative.
We were quite negative after stage, but that's because so Harriet and I did a gig together yesterday. Harriet was emceeing and I was opening. The reason I was negative is because I accidentally kicked over a series of fake trees before I went on stage, and then I'd also had a bad case of the runs.
You didn't even kick them over though. It was like you went into, like you were trying to go into the wilderness. It was so weird. I've never seen anything.
I was having, in hindsight, I was a bit like an animal. I was having stomach pains. And I was just looking for somewhere to go and like die.
Oh, I thought you were
just out into the
go
woods.
and shit.
But instead, I ran to the toilet. I had 30 seconds.
Bless you.
And then I came back and you'd warmed them up nicely, and then I went on and it was madness. But Bristol gigging. I think people don't think of you as the animal comic. But it's clearly a theme through them, and I think it's because animals are maybe a little bit cartoonish, a bit funny.
Yeah.
Your tattoos are animal based as well, a lot of them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I know. I feel like
mainly
I'm revealing.
dinosaurs and a blobfish.
And a blobfish are the...
Yeah. My barber said, what the fuck is that? I think he'd never heard of a blobfish.
And you're like, and why are you cutting the hair on my arm?
Into a skin fade.
Stop shaving me at my arm. Focus on my hair, please.
Focus on it.
Should get a tattoo just under your mullet there at the back of a blobfish. Really scare him next time he goes.
Oh, I would like that.
What were the names of your pets growing up?
So I can't remember any of the fish, but I remember.
No one can.
No, but I remember Jake and Cutie, as in QT.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cutie.
I think it's weird now. But and then Jake was after, because we had this lovely, you know, when you have your aunties that aren't your real aunties.
Yeah.
So one of them had a dog called Jake. So then we were just like, oh, that was a nice animal. So we'll call our rabbit Jake.
Jake, Emma, cutie.
Yeah.
Okay, Barry's going again. Back up me fanny. He actually did this to my jeans. No, he didn't.
Yeah, because it's symmetrical.
I've got nothing. Right. Okay, I'm just going to remove him. Move him there. Do you think having a pet is like you can do it as a jobbing, gigging comic? Is that like possible?
No. No.
Sorry, Barry. Off you go.
Oh,
in the bin.
Because Barry's quite low maintenance, though, isn't she?
Yeah, and even for low maintenance, quite neglected. So even on the scale. Oh, look. Oh, here's one of the cats coming through. Probably looking for somewhere to drop another turd.
Well, because when we looked after my partner's dog, the kids, when the stepkids were with us, they were still alive. They were like begging us but bearing in mind, 4 children randomly moved in with us when lockdown started I had a 2-bedroom flat. So then we had 6 people in a 2, but we're like, what's it in Willy Wonka with all the people that live in the bed?
2 at the top, 2 at the bottom.
It was ridiculous. So then the kids were like begging for a dog because they wanted to like walk it during lockdown. So we joined that. Not Rent My Doggy. What's it called?
Oh, there's like a sort of walk my dog.
Rent My Dog.
Rent My Doggy.
So then so they were begging for a dog, and then I'm a bit of a soft touch, so then I was like, should we get them a dog? But then when we then looked after my partner's brother's dog, they walked it twice, and then the youngest one would want to walk it by himself, but then was just the dog was quite powerful, so then he was just like, well, the dog was walking him. Yeah. And then they just lost interest like day 2, like maybe not even that.
It happens, isn't it? It's novelty sometimes with pets, but actually they're and
it's not fair on the pets.
No.
And then I get him back from a gig, and then we had lovely Pam, the next door neighbour.
Assumed Pam was another dog. Just by your run of names, I was like, Emma, Jake, Pam, the Labrador.
Pam is a good name for a dog, but Pam was the best neighbour that you could ever have. She would bake a cake for everyone's birthday. She was, the only downside was, so even though she was our next door neighbour, the number of her house, what was it? So the number of her house was like number 5, and say we're number 1.
Right.
So then I assumed that she wasn't next to us. So I told her that when we first moved in, I was like, oh, Pam, I can see someone shitting from my window. And then I've accidentally told her I've watched her shit, not knowing that it was her next to.
Pam, I've watched someone really struggle to squash out of the shit.
Honestly. And then I've gone.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Pardon, what?
Did you watch the whole thing?
Because first of all, I was like, what is that? And then. But also, then I've accidentally shamed her because but then we had this big debate in my house because she stood up. I stood up to wipe a bum. I don't think that's.
Don't think it's right.
And then my partner was like, they were looking at each other, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
He's a stander-upper. You can't. I don't think it's right to stand up to wipe your bum because you're reducing access to the area you need to clean.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah,
exactly how I feel.
You might as well stand up, slap yourself on the bum, and off you go. You've closed access.
But so then, why did I mention her? Oh yeah, but poor Pam had too much on. Her daughter, she was like, oh, I want a pet. And then Pam was like, oh, yeah, but you'll have to walk it. And then she didn't. And then Pam had like a disabled... Yeah, Pam just had so much on. And then this sudden pet. So then Pam wasn't walking the dog as much as she should. We then had this dog that needed a walking. I was getting back from gigs. I was standing in poo at the bottom of the stairs.
Like, whose is this?
Exactly. Then, oh my God, get this. Then our landlord come round, said, can I have a word with you, Harriet? I said, yeah.
What about? What could this possibly be about?
He goes, are you pooing in there? So when we'd literally walked past the dog, seen another dog, known there's 6 people in the flat, then he's taken me aside and asked if I've pooed in the patio. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I got it. So he's looked at all the clues and thought, it's Harriet.
Take her to one
it's
side.
Harriet. It's a cry for help. And it could be any one of the dogs or any one of the people that wipe their bums standing up because they're not getting it. Could have just dropped out of there. It's not getting a full clean. So anybody that's a stand-up wiper with baggy jeans could have dropped that in the patio and not even noticed. That could have just flopped it out. They don't know. They're not getting access, right?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. Do you think...
I still can't... And I've just said that now and I just still can't believe that.
And what was your answer to him?
I was like, quiet.
How do you not become suspicious? Because whatever you do, you're going to look like he's already decided.
Yeah. I was like, are you saying that you think I've shat on the... And also, like, we rent a flat that has a toilet. What do you think? I walk past the toilet, dangle my ass.
Yeah, but if you've got 6 people, needs must.
Honestly,
needs must. I went on an Airbnb hen do weekend, and one of the girls, there was a queue for the toilet for like 10 minutes, and instead of waiting 10 minutes, she went into her room and shat in the bin. What? Yeah, feral. That's why I love pets, right? Like, fair enough. Fiora might have done a poo under the sofa during our podcast, our highly professional, orchestrated podcast. Barry might be trying to climb up onto my neck to gouge out my eyes with her claws. At no point will I expect anybody in this to go over there and shit in the waste paper bin.
I don't understand that. I also don't know. A big red flag is that you would choose to go on holiday with someone that would be likely to shit in a bin.
Well, it's quite a revelation, actually. Everything else in her life said she'd got her stuff together, but that was a big red flag for me.
The room would have just smelt of shit.
It really did. It really did.
That's like in the White Lotus.
Then we were left with, is it recycling? Everything I've said this morning has disgusted you, Harriet.
Sorry. This is when I was at the Edinburgh Fringe and there was like 10 of us to one bathroom and then everyone was just waiting. I would just sit cross-legged outside the bathroom in the hallway with about 6 other people. And then once I was just waiting for the toilet and then I must have had my mouth open and then I just ate this girl's yawn. Her morning yawn.
Yeah, there's got to be calories in a morning yawn. Like that is.
It was horrible.
That's chunky. That is morning breath.
Horrible.
I see what you mean about pets not being necessarily conducive to comedians. Because if you're the one taking care of those dogs, but you're out at night, you're out till late, you're not up with their schedule. I mean, Barry is low maintenance. But I don't know. I think sometimes being a comic can be a bit lonely. So having something just back at the house that relies on you is sometimes important.
Well, also because it needs to be, because I think a lot of people get pets for themselves, where you need to get are you in a suitable position to be getting an animal? No, if you're, but you get some comics that will go to gigs with, but then I always think you're then that person that's bringing their dog everywhere and going, oh, what do you mean I'm not allowed in this gig because I've got my dog.
He's only bitten 4 people. He's only bitten 4 people in the last year.
Oh my God, I knew this well, she won't mind me saying, Karen Bailey had a dog that was racist. And the dog just kept barking.
The dog can't be racist.
Anytime a black person would come, the dog was barking. And then it was when I lived in Birmingham, we were travelling up with Annette Fagan, who is a black lady. The dog just kept barking at her, not at anyone else. And she was like, Karen, your dog's racist.
I mean, Barry, Barry doesn't really like women, but,
How
just
do you
saying.
know?
Because he ignores me, and then when my partner Jack calls for him, he'll go to the sound of Jack's voice.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. Little does Barry know, I am the sole source of your financial well-being. Yes,
But do you
I am.
reckon it's the tone that each of you use? So if Jack's like, hey, Barry.
Yeah, he is quite keen.
And then-
Let's try it. All right, I'm going to put Barry in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're going to choose
I'll
a
be
tone.
Jack.
You're going to be Jack, and I'll be myself. I'll go first,
Okay.
right? Because it's my house.
Yeah,
Okay.
fair enough.
All right. I'm placing Barry on the O, facing forward. Look, she's ready. She's ready.
What does it say?
Barry! Barry! Look at that.
Hey, little Barry, come to me, old Bazza. Barry.
So I don't think she chose me, but she fled from you. She chucked herself off
really
she's-
good Jack impression
That was
as well.
my partner Jack is also a comedian, and that was uncanny. That one. Hey, little hey there, hey. He's also a magician in his 80s. Oh, hello, little Barry. Were you scared by that? Were you scared by that? Yeah, it was a bit creepy. Were you there? Yeah, you do a good, quick, creepy vibe. That was fun.
Yeah, I must have. Well, I can't. So that's disproved my theory,
I think so. Yeah, and mine.
or just that I haven't done an accurate impression of Jack.
I think it was bang on, so I don't think that's the. I think if you're allowed any pet, right, and there's like the budget is unlimited, there's no ethical dilemmas.
Mm-hmm.
You've also got money in there for someone else to look after the pet. The pet doesn't
okay.
even have to be a real animal. It can be a mythological creature, like
What? Like a dragon?
yeah, if you want a dragon, or a dinosaur.
Oh,
What creature would you have?
well, so I'd probably have can I have a cross, like a hybrid?
Yeah. All right, then we're into splicing territory.
So I'll have giraffe. I'm just an absolute sucker for the beautiful eyelashes.
So, are we just getting the eyelashes of the giraffe?
No, giraffe nature. The giraffe, the carcass.
The carcass of a giraffe.
Yeah, let's say giraffe.
Giraffe.
But with frills of the Dilophosaurus.
Oh, you want the world's scariest giraffe?
Well, no. And fire of a dragon.
That's the world's scariest
And
giraffe.
wings of a dragon.
No, I can't let you have it. It would
Why
kill
not?
too
You
many
told me I
people.
could have whatever I wanted.
I don't know if it's
no.
Can't go back
it's
on that.
just a lovely.
And what does it eat?
It's lovely. And it eats leaves, but it's very moral. And
All right.
if anyone wrongs anyone, it will then.
It's got a lot of work to do.
It will then attack, but only with people. It's like a vigilante, like a paedophile hunter.
I would like a giraffe, fire-breathing, gill-flaring pedo hunter.
Yeah, only if people need to be, like, Luther,
Yeah.
like that. So
To have a great coat selection. Swinging
in a big tweed coat. Well, only if people need to be sorted out, then, politicians and stuff.
Yeah. And I reckon
Then-
knowing that this giraffe gill monster was coming for it, people would be really well
Yeah,
behaved.
Gilraff.
What-
Gilraff.
What name would you have it? What was the name of the dinosaur that you're splicing it with?
Dilophosaurus. So
Dilophosaurus.
giraffe. Dilophosaurus. Dilophosaurus. Sounds like Zac Efron.
Giraffemas.
Diloph.
No, that sounds like Giraffe Christmas.
Dilophosaurus. It's a work in
Scary
progress.
giraffe.
Oh, very silly.
God, I can see you with that. Would you have full size, or would you have it quite small so you could just carry it around in your car?
No, full size.
You want full
And
size?
in fact, I've just had an idea. Instead of wings, it actually flies with the eyelashes.
Oh, Very sultry. What a confusing animal. Yeah, just captivating animal. Big, beautiful lashes. Terrifying, fire-breathing. Can sense if you're wrong. And protects.
Yeah.
I like that vibe. I can see why. Okay, Barry's
I think we'd probably hang around nightclubs, and then if anyone seemed sinister, like their intentions were anything other than pure, it would at the end of the night take people down the alleyway.
Yeah, and if in the nightclub it's going to be about 2 or 3 feet higher than anyone else, it can see what everyone's doing.
Yeah,
it's just having a little look. What are your intentions? Gills out. Just takes them down the alleyway, a couple of beats of the lashes, blows them away. They're away, they're gone. All right, you can have a Giraffosaurus.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Giraffalophus, because that's the dragon. Oh no, it doesn't have. Oh yeah, the fire.
Right. Fire. Add the fire in. I'm going to take the fire off, actually. Yeah.
Why? You said I could have whatever I wanted.
I know, but I'm just
Don't
exerting
be a dick
some.
either.
Fine, you can have the fire.
Thank you.
All right, and it eats leaves, as if it definitely eats people. This creature.
Yeah, wrong, but that doesn't count. It's like, you know, in films when if someone's a vampire, but they justify them. But they'll justify. What is this? Santa Clarita Diet with Drew Barrymore.
Oh yeah, where she's like a zombie.
Yeah, they'll just eat bad people, so then they don't feel as bad.
Yeah. Yeah, so you feed it on leaves and bad people.
Leaves and bad people.
I think that's ideal. All right, you can have him. You can have him. And just out of interest, what noise would he make? Scariest giraffe in the world. I love that. And why do you think people have pets? This would be.
Well, I think especially during lockdown and stuff, even though that was, I imagine, that went disastrously, didn't it? Because then people ended up, they had these pets, but again, selfishly for themselves, and then once lockdown was finished, then they were just like the amount of like people that didn't want their pets anymore really
and
went
had these
up.
Like very anxious pets that couldn't be left.
Yeah, my friend was saying that when she walks a dog, if another dog comes up and then my friend's dog's trying to like hang out with it, then the amount of times owners are like, oh, not boisterous. It's a lockdown. It's a lockdown
dog.
Lockdown dog.
As though that is completely out of their control.
Yeah, exactly. We're bloody feeding them foie gras and grapes. And
I got this dog to watch me cry.
Yeah,
but I'm not sad anymore, and I've left it traumatized.
Exactly. So I think other than that, the animals are very good for because if I didn't do comedy, I would just be alone and never speak to anyone. So a pet would be very good for anyone like me to go out and socialize, talk to people, and have a walk.
Yeah, I think that there is sort of a place where you can. I think if you are introverted and your role or your job requires you to be quite extroverted, like coming back and having a creature that you can just recharge with is quite a good thing. Definitely.
No, because I have comedy, so I'm fine without a pet. But if I didn't have comedy, then I would need my my dragon.
So what captive audience?
Giraffe lover. Don't know why I've now sexualised this.
I'm putting Barry down again, see if he's going to come to you or.
Hey, buddy.
So he leapt the other direction and is I don't know.
Hey,
maybe.
little buddy, little pal.
Hey there. Nowhere's safe for him.
We also had stick insects, and that was difficult because my partner, you had to. You would. What would you think you fed a stick insect?
Oh, I don't know. Leaves?
Privet, a special type of leaf. So there was like this bush that was the only privet in the land. So my partner had to like schlep every time to this privet.
You would pick them from the wild.
But I thought privet was just like a hedge, but it was a type of. He was like, "Oh, I've got to go get my privet."
Go get that privet
get
before
that
the other
privet.
stick insect enthusiasts get up there.
Yeah.
Got to get up early to get the privet leaves before the
Yeah.
rest of them get there. I didn't know you had stick insects. I can't imagine you with a stick insect. I feel like you need something a little bit more interactive.
Well, it wasn't. What it was. But so my partner was given these. He came from. Most people get a box of chocolates. He came back from work with a bloody Tupperware full of stick insects. But did you know they grow and they shed their stick? So then they grew quickly, and then he was like, "Oh, well, I'll have to get a different container for them." So then, but a normal person would just go to like a pet shop, but he went to like an old-fashioned sweet shop, asked for an empty jar. But then they wouldn't give him an empty one, so then we've got 70 lollipops, and then the kids have like been in charge. So I went to a gig and I was like, "Oh, sort it." The kids have just put the stick insects in with the lollipops, so then the stick insects are like
Which
stuck.
one's which?
Exactly. So I've had to Google, how do you unstick a stick insect? There's no answer on that.
No. You must be the first person breaking Google for the first time.
How do you unstick a stick insect to a lollipop?
Just lived there forever, did they?
Yeah.
Wait until they shed, and then you could just get them out the other end.
Yeah.
Clean, unstuck. Barry's being chased around now by Fiora.
But there's no danger, is it? The cats are so...
Placid.
No, I feel like they're so... They just don't know what to make of her. So there's no danger.
It is interesting that there's like a real disgust between the cats and the reptile.
Yeah.
Like they are really grossed out by each other. You know, there's no harmony in the animal kingdom.
No,
just judgment.
Yeah.
That racist dog, the sort of anti-reptile cats over there. Barry's just going about his life, doing his best. All right, new game.
Have you just woken
See
up?
which one she comes to now.
Hey, little buddy.
Hey there. Oh, no, I'm being Jack now. I'll
Oh,
be
are
myself. No, you be Jack. I will remain myself. Hey, Joy.
Hey, little buddy, old Joy pal. How are you? Come to me, old Jackaroo. No.
She's frozen in terror. And also she's, sorry she looks like this. She put her face in some butter. So, very much like what I do on a Sunday morning. Oh, she's coming towards me. This could be it. This could be it.
I'm literally stroking you. I'm doing my nice Jack voice, and you just, serves you right.
She's never come this close to me. And I'm watching Barry just slowly get chewed up by the other cat in the corner. So Barry's found it. So now we got Joy joining us in what is an editing maze for Alice, which I enjoy. I can see her anxiety climbing off the charts at the other end. So a while ago, I ate. Do you know the cat treats Dreamies?
Yeah.
I thought they were like posh snacks at my mate's house. And they look like posh, mini posh biscuits. So I ate a few of them, and they're actually really nice.
Oh.
Yeah, they're actually, really nice. And I think that they're a highly protein, nutritious.
Have they got that? What's it called? Where has it got catnip in it? So were you there?
I was spaced out of my mind. They're
Nibbling on Barry.
They're just quite delicious. But I reckon eventually, if I say it enough, Dreamies will eventually either sponsor us or pay us to stop mentioning it. And either way, I'm taking it. I'm taking it all. Harriet, have you got anything? You've got a tour coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your tour because you've been on Live at the Apollo, you've been on everything. Now you've got your new tour.
Yeah.
I loved your old show. I loved Mother. I thought that was fabulous. How are you feeling about the new tour? What's the name of your show?
Easily distraught.
I like it.
Thank you.
And whereabouts will you be, and where can people get tickets?
On harrietdyer.com. And remember I showed you my website.
I love your website.
It winks. Does it wink or blink? I can't remember.
It blinks. It blinks for you when you come up, and it sort of
but so quick that you're like, did that just
Yeah, you're really getting into people's...
blink at me?
It's like, am I speaking directly to Harriet through her website? Your website is fantastic. So you can go on there and get it, harrietdyer.com.
Yeah, and it's all over really. But then of course, some people are like, well, how come you're not coming here? So, but I think if you get in touch and because I think even if I'm not coming to, because I'm not massive, so I can't just go everywhere forever because there's no desire for me to do that. I mean, no need. I'm not that big.
It's coming.
So hang fire if you're angry with me for not going somewhere, and
or gather the tickets in advance. They can book a venue. They can
exactly.
They can set up the gig. Then you can come to them.
Exactly. But yeah, just doing. There's not loads of places, but it would be great if you could come to the nearest one to you. And if you can't, I'm probably gigging around there anyway, just not with the tour show. Isn't it?
Yeah, you are everywhere. Yeah. You are literally everywhere at the moment.
I'll just gig wherever. Well, because it's my only social. I don't do anything socially. I probably see you and Jack.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I mean, who else should there be,
well,
really?
Very true. But I'm also very picky. When I was younger, I would always... sorry, you just wanted to wrap it up and now I've...
No, I was just delighted because I'm like, picky. That's great.
I'm in there. Picky. When I was younger, it's the numbers game, isn't it? You just want to hang out with everyone. You can't ever spend any time on your own, whereas now I'm old and cantankerous. I've got no time to spend... When people whinge about other people that they hang out with, I'm just like, well, don't
Come off. I used to think like your friendship circles, the amount of people that would come to like an event or a social thing that you put on was very like indicative of like who you were as a person, like how good you were.
Yes.
And now, 5.
Yeah.
5 mates.
But they are the creme de la creme.
They're the top.
Ride or dies, all of them.
Jump in front of a bullet for me.
Yeah.
Tell me that my foundation doesn't match my neck. That sort of stuff, the essentials. But 5 max.
Yeah. That is it.
And I say 5, but I've got 3.
I think I literally saw 3 when you said that.
I say 5. I'm keeping a couple of spaces free, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case, and one of them's Barry. So...
It's like, oh, you're not making me go to another event.
Oh, Barry, you threw me the surprise party. I can't believe it. I do all the invites myself. Barry's hopeless. And, all right. I hope you have a grand time on tour. It's going to be a cracking show. It's going to be such a good show. And thank you for coming on to this.
Oh, I've had a lovely time. Thank you.
It's been incredibly odd. And we know that now Barry will respond to my voice only in objection to yours.
I'm quite livid about that.
Barry's in a back corner now.
Barry.
As far away from you as humanly possible. But you can have Joy here instead.
Yeah, I'm quite fond of Joy.
I think she's out of her mind on butter, so she's also heavily lactose intolerant. She's going to just explode at any moment. So thank you very much.